3 Brain Maggots, 2 Calastria Highborn, and 1 Shieldred Whispering One. Alright, let's take a look at the next booster pack players will get to add to their collection with the new Master of Monsters expansion to Magic 2015. Has a picture of young Pyromancer on the front. So we have Galvanic Arc, 2 colorless and red, enchantment aura, common. Enchant creature. When Galvanic Arc enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target creature or player. An enchanted creature has first strike. Now this is going to combo with one of the other cards, of the red cards in this DLC, which we'll get to later. But Galvanic Arc by itself, it's, you know, it's an expensive Lightning Helix. I mean, not Lightning Helix, like Lightning Strike. You know, 3 to do 3 damage. You have to have an creature on the battlefield for this to work. If you don't have a creature, it's a dead card in your hand. But you can choose to, in some games, play Galvanic Arc on one of your opponent's creatures and have that 3 damage. Maybe it's the 3 damage that wins you the game by enchanting your opponent's creature. Alternatively, enchant one of their weaker creatures so that the first strike doesn't matter so much to kill one of their larger threats. On your own creature, the first strike is very relevant. It's a nasty ability. First strike allows your creature to deal damage in combat before your opponent's creature. Meaning, if you have a creature that would normally trade with an opponent's creature, your creature would survive and theirs would die because your creature deals combat damage first. Let's look at one of the shining stars in this DLC, Young Pyromancer. Colorless and red for 2/1 Human Shaman. It's an uncommon in this. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a 1/1 red elemental creature token onto the battlefield. Young Pyromancer doesn't need a huge introduction for players of Constructed Magic the Gathering. It was an all-star in Standard and sees play in other formats such as Modern, Legacy, and even Vintage. It's made an appearance. It is a fantastic card, and I'm sure there will be many decks revolving around this, as Gutter Snipe is also in this game. Let's take a look at Warp World. There's 2 of them here. Costs 8 mana, sorcery, rare. Each player shuffles all permanents he or she owns into his or her library, then reveals that many cards from the top of his or her library. Each player puts all artifact, creature, and land cards revealed this way onto the battlefield. Then does the same for enchantment cards, then puts all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield onto the bottom of his or her library. Warp World is the card that makes Galvanic Arc amazing, because what you do, you play with cards that have enters the battlefield abilities. All your creatures, Civic Wayfinder, I think that's the card in here. You play probably a green-red deck with enters the battlefield abilities, cards that let you search for basic lands or draw a card or any type of bonus on any type of permanent that says enters the battlefield. Warp World is astounding in conjunction with that. If you have very little instants or sorceries in your deck other than Warp World, you're going to gain a massive amount of card advantage when you play Warp World, and your opponents just reveal the amount of cards they have in play, and they don't get the same back because they're going to be revealing instants and sorceries. But you've tailored your deck to Warp World. You're going to be able to get back everything and then some and deal massive amounts of damage from Galvanic Arc, draw cards, destroy permanents. It's going to be fun. Avera Hellkite, Mythic Rare. 6 and 2 red for a 6/6 flyer dragon. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, Put a 6/6 red dragon creature token with flying onto the battlefield. We're only getting one Atvara Hellkite to add to your collection. Um, this is good in conjunction with other dragons, but I mean, this was, in paper, it was a crap rare. It didn't run in constructed tournaments. The thing is, this is Magic 2015 Duels of the Planeswalkers. The metagame is completely different, so Atvara Hellkite, even by itself, will be winning some games. I guarantee you that.